Hi Fit Fam, welcome back to Tips from Stella Fitness and day 28 of our Fit Body Challenge, which is actually rest day and it is part of our fitness routine. In this video, I'm going to be sipping on some red raspberry leaf tea and I will be telling you why. And I'm going to also be sharing some useful tips for C-section moms, especially. If you don't know yet, I am a C-section mom of 3 kids who I have had back to back in a period of 5 years. And before sharing those useful tips, I'm going to be sharing with you how I ended up becoming a C-section mom. So during my first pregnancy, I did everything like in the book, you know, everything that is written out there to help you get a natural birth, like a vaginal birth, and none of these things worked. So what happened is during 37 weeks, that is at 37 weeks, I remember I had just hit 37 weeks on that night, my waters broke. All of a sudden, I just saw the waters gushing out. Of course, as a new mom, as a first-time mom, it was total panic. We headed to the hospital, of course, and I stayed there for 8 days before I finally gave birth. And when I reached at the hospital, there was no sign of labor, there was no sign of dilation. And the doctors did everything they could to also aid the baby to come out like vaginally, but everything didn't seem to work. So what happened is that during this time, they were also monitoring for inflammation. You know, when the baby runs out of water, it is possible that the baby can get a bacterial infection or any other infection, or even, you know, run out of energy and things like that. And on the 8th day, that is when the doctors decided that, you know what, we've done everything we could and the baby just doesn't seem to be prepared to get out. I wasn't dilating, and so we decided to get into that C-section. Of course, I cried so much. I remember I cried so much like a baby because I mean I had done everything to make sure that I have that baby vaginally. So I did go ahead and had my baby. Of course, it was pure joy thereafter and all that pain was forgotten. So the reason why I tried to do everything to give birth vaginally is because I had lots of myths about C-section. For instance, you can't have more than 2 babies if you get a C-section. You can't have your flat belly back when you have a C-section. But anyway, all those turned out to be just myths, and as I speak right now, I have 3 kids and my doctor says if I want, I can even make it up to 6. And I'm also trying to fight off my belly. I mean, it's not as big as I thought it remains when you give birth with a C-section. So there's lots of myths out there about C-sections which are actually not true. And so if you ever end up having a C-section, never feel less about yourself. Never feel so bad. Many of us go through it, and I know moms out there who blame themselves, who feel bad, you know, because they've ended up with a C-section. But one truth about giving birth is that you cannot predict how you will end up giving birth. You can prepare, you can do everything, no matter how you are, no matter your body shape, your body size, you can do everything until that baby refuses to get out naturally and you have to end up having a C-section. So there is nothing wrong with it. Of course, having birth vaginally is the best option, but if you ever end up having a C-section, it is not something to really feel bad about. So when it came to my second baby, I remember it was about 1.5 years after I had had the first one. The doctors told me, your scar looks good, everything looks good, and if you would like, it's up to you. You can try out a vaginal birth after C-section known as a VBAC. And it was such a confusing decision for me to make because the doctors put it upon me. They were like, it's up to you, whatever you decide, we are fine to go with it. We are fine to try it out. I mean, everything with you seems okay and it is possible, you know. So it was my decision to, you know, tell them that this is what I want and this is what I want. So it was so hard for me to make because I wasn't sure. First of all, I didn't want to end up deciding for a VBAC and then I end up in another emergency C-section. I did a lot of reading, I did a lot of talking with other moms, you know, who had gone through this. And in the end, I decided for a planned C-section, and this is because anything can happen and I didn't want to go through an emergency C-section again, like I've told you guys. And also the healing with my first C-section wasn't really that bad, as in everything didn't turn out as terrible as, you know, it is said to be out there. So in the end, I decided for a planned C-section. And also at that time, I was in touch with a friend of mine with whom we were pregnancy buddies with my first kid, and she was telling me how she was still struggling in getting healed down there. Like, she gave birth vaginally, but the baby tore her so hard, and she's going through multiple surgeries to get it fixed down there. She cannot engage in anything. Basically, she had trouble of her poo passing, you know, in the wrong passage, and she was telling me all this trouble she's going through with. And that was also another reason why I decided that I will go for a planned C-section, not because I would also end up like that, but I mean, I was like, anything can happen. You can have a vaginal birth and things turn out wrongly as well. You can also have a C-section and things turn out wrongly. So anyway, I just followed my gut feelings, and then I had my second planned C-section. Of course, it went well, much better than the first one, which was emergency and full of tears all over the place. I remember the doctors were telling me the entire time, calm down, there were lots of nonsense. Basically, it was so dramatic. But the second one, which was planned, went well. Then I got my third baby, which was also about 1.5 years after, and also everything went well. So I was worried about spacing as well, that you cannot have your baby so soon and all that, but I really found solutions to all these problems that you can experience as a C-section mom, which I'm going to be sharing with you. The thing about being a C-section mom is that you just need to take extra care of yourself, and everything should actually be fine. So here are some of the useful tips that I would like every C-section mom out there to know, which I found useful myself. And the first thing is taking red raspberry leaf tea daily. I take this tea every single day. I like it too. It really tastes great. I learned about it from my midwife. The tea helps in toning the muscles of your uterus. Because the uterus was cut to take out the baby, it can end up being weak, you know, and it can affect your future pregnancy, like risks of it tearing apart when you're giving birth. And this tea really helps strengthen your uterus. Actually, it also helps cleanse the uterus and help it to go back to its original shape. So I've been taking that tea ever since my first C-section, and I've not had any trouble or any complaints. My doctor says my uterus is still doing very, very well, and I believe it's because of the red raspberry leaf tea. Number 2 is to massage your C-section scar. Actually, no doctor or nurse or midwife told me that it was very necessary to massage my C-section scar. I found out about this by my own research. It is very important that you start massaging your scar the moment your doctor gives you a go-ahead to begin your normal routine after your 6 weeks checkup. It is very important to massage the scar for at least 2 months daily after that time. And the benefit of massaging your C-section scar is that it helps prevent adhesions, which is one of the risks that comes with C-section births. When your scar is healing, it is possible that it can adhere to the surrounding tissues and even the organs. And massaging your scar helps to prevent adhesions, which also promotes healthier pregnancies in the future. In order for you to massage your C-section scar properly, please check out that video that is appearing in the video cards above, and it will show you exactly how to massage your C-section scar. So after these 2 months, you can continue to always massage your scar gradually with oil or any massage oil or even a silicone gel, and it helps to flatten out your scar, and with time it will be disappearing. I do like massaging it with this roller over here. This is Bepanthen, and it's a scar gel, a silicone scar gel, and it is really, really good in helping the scar fade away. You can also use silicone sheets. They help in helping that scar to disappear. And the next important tip is doing castor oil packs. Now I'll be leaving the instructions on how to do castor oil packs in the comment section. However, the benefits of castor oil packs is that they also help to prevent adhesions, and they help to heal your scar from within and also out. So I also always did castor oil packs. In fact, once in a while I still do them because they also really help in fading away that scar. Another important tip is that exercising is really very important. That is why they always encourage us to do walks, you know, not so much, not so heavy exercising, but they encourage us to do walks after C-section, mainly because it helps in preventing blood clots. It also helps in improving circulation of blood to the uterus and supply of oxygen, which all contributes to healing and strengthening back of your uterus for future pregnancies. And lastly, taking supplements that promote healing and strengthening of your uterus. Well, I normally do supplement because it is very difficult for me to attain all these nutrients from my diet. And some of the very important supplements for C-section moms including zinc. Zinc helps and promotes healing of wounds, especially internally as well, and will help your uterus to heal from within. Vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin E, and also L-glutamine. Glutamine is an amino acid which has been scientifically proven to speed up the process of healing from surgery. And well guys, that is all the tips I had for you today. If I've left out something, please let me know what you did to promote healing of your body after having that C-section. Also, let me know some of the myths you used to have about C-sections that turned out to be unreal. And well, that is just about it for today, guys. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and leave me a comment if you have any questions or something to tell me. If you are a C-section mom and you need someone to talk to, I'm always there, you know, sharing from my experience. I really needed someone in those days. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and families on social media. Invite them over to come and join us in our Fit Body Challenge. Don't forget to connect up with me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest, because I do share lots of wellness and useful tips over there too. It means a lot to me when you get to join my growing family on here, so don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so that you receive notifications every time I upload a new video. Don't forget to check out my other videos as well. See you in tomorrow's video, and don't forget to love yourself first and keep fit for health. Bye bye.